Yes, I can hear you, and guess what? Now the whole world can too. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is Friday night, July 29th, 2016. I got that date right. Friday, July 20th. I'm usually good with calendars. Oh boy, that's spells problem for me. Welcome to episode number 2 of Game Show Talking Fun, and they said it wouldn't last. So I am here with one of my tag team partners, Scott Goldiner. I see you there in the window. You just checked in before we clicked the broadcast on.
Well, Chrome decided to act up while I was watching something from Persona, but that's another story.
That's fine. Hey, I'll just say this real quick for the record. I wasn't sure. I'm upstairs back in my house in my bedroom right now. I've been at my parents' house across the street all day babysitting my nephew because my folks went to the PGA Championship in Springfield, New Jersey. They just got back like about a half hour before we went on the air, so I was up in the air as to figuring out whether I was going to be over there or over here doing the show. So, but we're okay now.
No,
Go ahead.
I'm just laughing at what Paul has on his thing.
I see it too, yes. So you're here, Scott, I'm here, and our other main guy, Paul Williams, is here. Paul, good to see you again.
Hey, guys.
Pleasure to have you once again. Oh, nice anime next shirt. I like that one. And we have a fourth that appears in the conversation right now. Incidentally, folks, those of you watching on YouTube, don't forget, if you want to join in on the conversation, look below this viewing window. There is a Google Hangout link. You can come in and join in on the live conversation. Please, we'd love to hear from you. Come on in and join us and contribute to what it is that we're going to be saying. And one person has joined us here, one of my good friends who I spoke with recently in relation to tonight's conversation, Marcus Barnes. How are you, Marcus?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Hey, guys, do me a favor. Which one of you, Paul, Marcus, which one of you has the noise going on in the background?
What's it sound like in the background?
Well,
Sounded like a TV.
Or something, or somebody talking back there. Yeah, just
Might be me. Hold on.
Yeah, do your best to just try to make sure you got all the outside noise clear, because, no, like I said, everybody can hear you during this thing, so just kind of watch out for that. Okay, so we've got a number of things to talk about tonight, including our main topic, the state of games today, and I'll let you know how all that turns out as we work our way along. But first, like we like to do here to begin every game show talking fun, let's begin with a nice good round of Smash or Trash, where we talk about the latest news of the week, and we get everybody's opinion on it and seeing what they like, what they hate. That's why we call it Smash or Trash. And let me just queue up my list here and see what it is that we had or whatever. Okay, item number 1, and this is one of probably the thing that a lot of people have been marking out the most over the past week. We had San Diego Comic-Con last weekend, and Nickelodeon brought out all the big guns. They brought out, as I said, what was that? Was that supposed to be like a holy chant or whatever? Anyway, Double Dare came back for one live additional show. Mark Summers was there to host it, a thing we never thought we'd see happen. And whoever, do me a favor, somebody mute the YouTube video because I can hear myself echo.
Oh, sir, this is mine. I will get yours. Thank you.
Yes, we do. Okay, and in addition, the trailer for the Legends of the Hidden Temple movie was also debuted at Comic-Con, and everybody got a chance to see it, and to see that they've really done their best to turn the game into a movie form. So here, Scott, let me start with you. Between the Double Dare Live and the Legends of the Hidden Temple trailer, Smash or Trash?
Smash. I was a fan of both and still am.
Was it great to see? Did you get a chance to look at the feed on the Splat and see the new Double Dare game?
Of course. I mean, after 30-some years, Mark still has it.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this, they're actually, after we get off tonight, at 10 o'clock tonight on Team Nick for the Splat, they're still going to be doing Double Dare Week, and they're going to be showing, I don't know if it's clips or the whole thing in its entirety, but they advertise they are going to be showing that Comic-Con performance. They did advertise it for tonight.
Interesting.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens there or whatever. Paul, what do you think of all the Double Dare and Hidden Temple news?
I kind of knew something like this was going to happen with the whole little setup they had in Lower Manhattan. It's definitely a smash for as far as Double Dare is concerned, because that's a great show to always come back.
Gotcha. Marcus, what do you think?
I'm actually glad that they're bringing back Double Dare. We've missed it for so long. We've needed this. Like, Nickelodeon needed this, because they haven't put out much of anything in the longest time. So I'm glad it's back.
Yeah, I'm going to agree too. I mean, I'll say this: we do have our obvious wishes that, as opposed to doing a TV movie, I think we're all in relative agreement that we'd rather see them just do an actual game show revival of Legends of the Hidden Temple. But let's see where this goes. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
and it's great to see Kirk back in the role that Kurt and Dee Baker, the two sidekicks, back together again.
Well, I'll say this: it was a little interesting when I looked at the trailer to see that that in the one little bit where Kirk Fogg came up, and the idea that it's Hidden Temple Park, that just seems a little unusual. That it just makes him seem like a shill, not just a shell, but a shill of his former self. And I don't know. It makes him seem more corny than some people thought back then that he was. But who knows? That's just me. But either way, no, I'm mega excited. And hey, make sure everybody watching out there, watch that. If you were a Hidden Temple fan, watch that movie. Let's let our voice be heard that hey, we want to see this translate into something bigger. So that's
and let's just hope they don't screw up putting the monkey together.
We shall see. We shall see.
9 times out of 10, it's going to happen.
No! They already showed in the trailer that there's going to be a mess up of putting together the monkey. Look, go to the very end of the trailer. It's there.
You know what? I forgot about that.
Yes. Okay. All right. Anyway. Okay. Item number 2 on Smash or Trash tonight. VH1 announcing earlier this week that they are going to give Hip Hop Squares, which was on MTV2 a couple of years ago, they're going to give Hip Hop Squares another go at it. And I believe, if I read the article correct, I believe it's going to be Ice Cube that's going to be taking over the hosting responsibilities. I think I'll double check that. Scott, give your opinion, and I'll research that for accuracy. But what do you think of Smash or Trash for the return of Hip Hop Squares?
Nothing more. It's it's Hollywood Squares done with the people in the music industry.
Well, particularly the rap music industry. That's why it's called Hip Hop Squares.
Well, still, it's still they're probably still gonna have the same fun as original Hollywood Squares. So, smash. It's a smash.
Got it. Oh, and incidentally, Ice Cube is going to be producing it. It doesn't say anything particularly about a host here or whatever. So, but his is going to be the production company. Paul, how about you? What do you say for Hip Hop Squares?
I'll pass on that for personal reasons, but I'll just say that it's not something that I see myself watching it, and I'll just leave it at that.
Okay, why so?
Given how most of the experiences that I have with BET and game shows isn't exactly the best, so yeah.
All right, well, we'll see what happens here. No, I can understand your concerns, but no, it was. I don't know. I looked a little bit on it the first time, however. I mean, yeah, they played it mega silly, but but I don't know. It seems okay. We'll see what happens. Hey, if it's any sort of classic revival, albeit a little strange, but whatever works. Okay. All right, here, Marcus. Let me take you off the mute there because it was a little. Can I get you off the mute? Are you there, Marcus? Shoot, what'd I do here?
There I am.
There he goes. He's back.
Yay!
No. I muted you for a second, because, like I said, you got some echo going on and other noise going on in the background. I just want to make sure you didn't run too much interference.
Okay.
All right. So what are you thinking about the return of Hip Hop Squares?
I'll give it a shot, like I've done most everything. I'll probably get a good chuckle out of it, but I'll probably give it 2 episodes and probably drop it.
So tentatively, I guess then you're trashing it.
Yeah, it's a, at arm's length,
Okay. Hey, to each their own. No problem whatsoever. Why
But
not?
then again, Hollywood Squares was known for the corny jokes on the questions.
Yeah, I guess it's just one of those things that maybe it's just because of the hip hop guys doing it that maybe perhaps it's going to be seen as a little too too corny, or maybe leaning toward the a little more of the sexual nature. Well, we'll see. We'll find out how it happens there. We shall see what comes up. Okay, item number 3 on our list. Briefly going into the reality. News came out yesterday about season 11 of The Voice. We got any Voice watchers here?
I watch it for like the first part, like when they're just introducing the people. When they start getting into the playoffs, I stop caring altogether.
Okay, you like the initial auditions and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay, hey, so you like seeing like who turns around. You like all the fighting and stuff like that, or whatever.
Yeah, pretty much like how they did with American Idol. Like, here's the beginning. Here are the people that you might want to care about, and then they go to the live performances, and then it's like, why is this still on the air?
That's an interesting way of putting it, but we'll talk about that more in a second. Anyway, so they just announced for season 11. Well, now right now, at an earlier point, they announced that joining Adam Levine and Blake Shelton for season 11 as the other competitive coaches are going to be Alicia Keys and Miley Cyrus. And now they just announced this week that the who are going to be the mentors for each of the four coaches. Bette Midler is coming on. She will be assisting Blake Sheldon as the mentor. Sammy Hagar will be joining Adam Levine, and it hasn't been made clear as to who's joining Alicia and who's joining Miley, but the other two that will be joining in will be Charlie Puth and Joan Jett. So overall, between the choices with those four assistant coaches / mentors or whatever, between Bet, Charlie, Sammy, and Joan or whatever, if you I don't know if any of you guys are musically inclined, but if you had your choice of the four of them, who would you want mentoring you the most?
I'll take the Divine Miss M.
Okay, so you're one for her, huh?
She's also a good actress too, so I'll give her that too. She's one of those few people that can act and sing.
And as she loves to to say when things are going a little wrong at her concerts, well, who gives a rat's ass? I look good. So, Paul, how about you? Who would you want coaching you?
I'd probably either have to say Sheldon or Christina.
Like I said, Christina's not there this
Oh
time.
yeah, so I'll probably be Sheldon then.
Okay, so you'd want Blake Shelton, and that means Blake Shelton has Bette Midler backing him up. So you'd be going for Bette then.
Right, I'll probably go for her. Oh, for them.
Marcus, you gonna make it a sweep among the three of you?
Yeah, I gotta make it a sweep. I go under Shelton, who has Bette Midler behind her. GG.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna go in a different direction here, honestly, because like I said, I love Bette too. I'm crazy about her too, and her stuff in her history. She's very good all around. But something in me, especially if she gets paired with Alicia Keys, something in me would want to feel that little edge that Joan Jett could bring. So something in me is leaning toward her. So.
Was she the one that did the song "I Love Rock and Roll"?
You betcha. I love rock and roll. I hate myself for loving you, and yes, the strongly sexually suggestive song "Do You Want to Touch Me There," which I never knew about until Glee came along.
Because I'm thinking of the parody, Rocky Road.
I love Rocky Road. Yes, yeah, I know. I used to have friends who were major Weird Al fans and stuff like. How can you not love Weird Al? As a matter of fact, I think even one of the Double Dare episodes that they're airing on the Splat tonight, I think it's going to have Weird Al on it. It's a family Double Dare episode, and he's filling in as the fourth for a family of 3.
Well, wasn't he also on Pyramid just recently too?
Yes, I missed that. Don't tell me what happened because I missed that episode 2 weeks ago. I was away and I didn't get a chance to see it. So I actually got to go back on the on-demands and catch up with that. So don't let me know what happened yet.
No, I mean I like his stuff. He's funny, especially his.
Of course, yeah. No, we all love stuff naturally, but it just seems very interesting to. Go about the business here, but we'll find out.
Well, remember, he was also on Rock and Roll Jeopardy, and then he was also on the special week of Wheel of Fortune when they had all the musicians on.
Right, I gotcha. I love how we got off tangent and started talking about Weird Al here like crazy.
And he didn't lose on Jeopardy to like his song.
Lucky for him.
Well, it was the Rock and Roll Jeopardy he was on.
Right. I'll have to find that. I missed that one when that came along. Oh well. Anywho, okay. Item number 4 for Smash or Trash tonight or whatever. Anybody a fan of James Corden over at his late night show on CBS, and when he does his infamous carpool karaoke segments?
What is that?
Huh?
What is that?
Basically, what James Corden has been doing is that he basically will pick up. Obviously it's a little bit staged. He'll pick up a celebrity to drive with him to to his job or whatever, and in the process they'll have some like interview conversation, and in between pieces of the interview they'll sing together along with what's on his either MP3 player, whatever the case is. They'll sing that artist's all their big hits and stuff like that. In the past, he's had Miley Cyrus, Jennifer Lopez.
He had the First Lady.
Yeah, that's right. Michelle Obama did it earlier this week and things like that. So, and all those things. Well, anyway, the reason I bring that all up is because apparently that's proven so popular enough is that now his carpool karaoke is going to meet Cash Cab, and we are now going to actually have a carpool karaoke game show. Now, this was announced a month or so back, but now this week it's been officially put into place that Spike TV has given the carpool karaoke game show a 10-episode order. It will premiere sometime during the fall. Some episodes are going to tape in New York, some are going to tape in LA, but they're going to air it during the fall. And just like Cash Cab, some people are going to be entering the cab and find out they're on the game show, and they're going to be either have to sing the songs entirely themselves, finish the lyrics, act out the songs even sometimes, which I'll be curious how that will work in the cramped space of the cab. But that's going to be the whole basis of everything that's going to go on with that. So is this something you guys want to see? Scott, I'll start with you.
Sure. I mean, I enjoyed Cash Cab when it was on. I thought it was a unique idea for a game show. So I'll give it a shot.
So you think the karaoke idea will work?
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't love karaoke?
Exactly. Or at least I would hope. So see, Paul, what about you?
I kind of enjoyed it the first time it came out, so I wouldn't mind seeing it up again.
Well, like I said, remember, they're not doing trivia. This isn't trivia questions. This is, again, here comes the song, you sing it.
Oh, all right.
Again,
that might be a different
karaoke, the game show.
Right.
It's being done in Cash Cab style. That it's going to be done in a taxi cab. Contestants will be picked up and so on and so forth like that. So that's going to be the basis.
It's going to be interesting to see. I'll say that.
Yeah, we'll find out for sure. Marcus, how do you feel about karaoke?
I'll sing it on occasion. Watching this will actually be enjoyable for me because I actually enjoy those segments on his show. and then considering like noticing these late night segments are actually starting to pick up and making their own things. Like Lip Sync Battle has its own show on what
Also
was it?
on Spike, right?
Yeah. So why wouldn't this work?
Yep. Yeah, sure.
Correct.
We hope so. If anything, that's kind of furthers into the popularity of Lip Sync Battle.
Correct me.
We got to have actual voices now. Go ahead, Scott. I'm sorry.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Lip Sync Battle, is that the one that from the Tonight Show?
Jimmy Fallon.
It started with Jimmy Fallon, right, and now it's its own thing. Also on Spike TV, LL Cool J and Chrissy Teigen hosted or whatever. And of course, fittingly, episode number 1, when it premiered in April of last year, episode number 1 was between Jimmy Fallon and The Rock. The Rock ended up winning that one. So, but no, they both did extremely good.
Yeah. Now, is it just the celebrities, or did they have civilian contestants as well?
On Lip Sync Battle or on Carpool Karaoke?
Lip Sync.
Lip Sync is no, that's all celebrities.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, and season 3 of that is going to be debuting in the fall as well. So yeah, because that's been doing real well for Spike. They've been enjoying it quite a bit. Now here's the only question I want to ask you guys before we move on with this matter. Knowing that obviously everybody that does karaoke, we got to of course be prepared for one thing. We're going to run into some people who don't have the best voices in the world. Give me your over-under out of every 10 sets of contestants. I say sets because I'm probably sure there's going to be a lot of people who will be coming into the car as a group and not alone. Out of every 10 sets of people, give me your over-under as to how many bad groups of singers we will hear. Scott, what's your over-under? Out of every 10? 2? Okay, Paul?
Well, let me, if I may, say a reason behind that. Everyone deserves a chance at karaoke. It doesn't matter if you can sing on key, off key. It's just going out there.
You sing it right.
Sing it right, know the words, and have fun. That's all that matters.
Exactly.
So that's why I say 2.
So there goes that. Okay, sure. Paul, what's your over/under on good or bad singers?
4. I don't see it popping up that often. You may get an occasional person that knocks it out the park, but besides that, I don't see it happening that often.
Okay, but you're going to say over/under 4 out of 10 groups are going to sound bad.
Yep.
Okay, Marcus, what's your over/under?
I'm a bit more of a cynic. I'm going to say 6.
You're going to go 6. Okay.
I'm close to a karaoke spot where I live, and of, say, 10 people that come up to the stage, 6 people either don't know how to sing or they're drunk. So I'm going to say 6.
We hope the contestants in this aren't coming into the thing drunk, although I'm sure
I will say this.
Have one every now and again.
Yeah. Well, with karaoke, I do some of it sometimes over at anime conventions, and trying to learn, the Japanese lyrics. Even for that is a little bit difficult for me, but
Okay, well, that's a whole other beast entirely.
I will admit this: when I'm listening to my headphones and I'm on the subway, I'll karaoke the song I'm listening to. Doesn't matter if it's English or Japanese. I'll sing it.
You do it out loud?
I do it out loud, even when I'm walking down the street.
You ever get any compliments or complaints?
I had one person record me while I was singing the first opening to Inuyasha.
There we go. And I assume they liked it. If they went to record you, I'm sure they appreciated it.
Yeah, I didn't know about it until after it was done.
For me, if I were ever lucky enough to to do this thing, give me anything Billy Joel and I'll crush it. So that's all I know. So that's the nature of it in the case of that. But we'll see. My over/under, I'll back Paul on his 4. I get a feeling it's gonna be higher, but I'm not tempted enough to go 5. So, or not yet. So we'll see with we'll see how that goes and things like that. But we'll find out. Okay, now our last item on the list for Smash or Trash tonight is a 2-parter because we got two separate items that came in. I will try my best after the show is over because I got a little. It's going to be a little tough to do it on the fly right at this very moment. I don't want anything to happen to my connection. But in recent weeks, we've had some interesting findings on eBay relating to game show-related memorabilia. I don't want to say paraphernalia or whatever the case is like that. But we had a couple of interesting items come along. First, a couple of weeks ago, somebody was posting on eBay. They had a copy of, I don't know how the heck they got a hold of this. It was a copy of Richard Dawson's Family Feud contract, which was supposed to begin for the 83-84 television season. The details of it said that that it was a up to 3-year option for the daytime series. It didn't say anything about the nighttime. And for the daytime, it was expected that he was going to get $20,000 a week for hosting the daytime version for ABC, and that would be for the first year. Each year thereafter, that weekly salary would increase another $2,500. So it was $22,500 in what was ultimately the last season. It would have been $25,000 a week if they had gone into 85-86. But $20,000 a week in the 83-84 season amounted to $1,040,000. So, based on that, what I want to just ask amongst all of you, for that period of time and knowing how Richard was, what his, we know what kind of an ego he had by then and things like that, and just putting everything about the package together, okay, Scott, do you feel that this was fair for him to receive that salary? And if not, should he have gotten more? Should he have gotten less?
I think it was fair. I think what Family Feud was one of the #1 rated game shows back then.
Something like that. If you're talking about syndication, yeah, I'm sorry that I stepped off window. I had to get another light in my room there. If you're talking about nighttime syndication, it was #1 in both daytime and nighttime at different points and things like that. But by around this time, the daytime was starting to wane a little bit, and the nighttime was just about to start crumbling because at the time it was #1, but that was when, in the fall, that was when Wheel of Fortune came along in syndication, and by the end of the 83-84 season, Family Feud was definitely on all waves and fronts on the way out.
So what, 83-84 was its last season, I think?
No. They went one more year after that.
So 84-85.
Right.
It's an interesting find to see what the negotiations were between, with Richard and with Mark Goodson Productions and ABC themselves. I mean, that's not for nothing what me and Paul found on eBay a while back. We found what was it? The
standard rights of, well, not the standard rights of privacy. This is the CBS program standards guide.
For an outline for the game shows and everything.
Yeah, it wasn't really that much. To tell you the truth, I didn't really have to pay the $10 to get it. That information is available publicly just by calling up CBS to say, "Can I get a copy of your program standards?"
Yeah. Well, that was ABC. This was for Richard Dawson. CBS.
But no, I'm just saying that in general from what me and Paul found on eBay, and also recently we found the.
Wait. We're gonna get to that in a second. Like I said we got two items here. Okay, yeah. So that eBay contract, that Richard Dawson contract. Oh, by the way, the contract was signed by Richard himself too. It was the actual genuine article. It sold for, the guy was selling it for $203 when you account for the shipping. So that would just throw that in.
I say if you're a game show fan, it'd be something interesting to find, something interesting in a piece of the game show history to hold on to.
Gotcha. I wonder if anybody did buy it. I haven't looked at it recently, so I'd have to wonder.
It's still active right now.
It's still active? Okay. Well, what do you think, though, Paul? Do you think that it's that's a fair price? I mean, not for us buying it, but for what Richard's salary was there, $1,040,000 in the in that contract.
That sounds about average of the more popular show hosts. Like I wouldn't be surprised um if other game show hosts around that same era were paid among similar wages.
Okay, all right, seems fair. Marcus, what are you thinking?
That did seem fair at the time. Like you said, it was going from 83 to 84. They didn't expect Wheel of Fortune to become syndicated and just start pushing it out the door. So what was it, 20 a week, and then like
it was
25?
For the 83-84 year, it was 20,000 a week, which would have amounted to $1,040,000. And then in the second year, in the 84-85, it went to 22.5 a week. And
Yeah,
if there had been one more year, it would have went to 25,000 a week.
Yeah, for back then, that does seem like a fair amount for what he was getting paid for what he was doing.
Yeah, and I'll agree with that as well. Yeah, it's like I said, I'm a little tempted to say that he was overpaid again just because of the ego. I can only imagine that that was part of what drove it up as high as it did. But then also knowing what Jack Barry had said in a famous TV Guide article back in '84 that we all know about. He said that, like, in his own production company, if you were at the low end of the scale, you still made $500,000. So I guess, yeah, $1 million for the whole year. I guess that's pretty comparable, wherever the case is. So it is what it is. So that's the first thing that we found on eBay. That was a couple weeks ago. Then just today, my friend Chuck Donegan posted something on Facebook that I could not believe. Somebody just sold on eBay an entire deck from the Bill Rafferty version of Card Sharks, 14 by 19 cards, and you've seen our Card Sharks cards. We use 12 by 16, so we got a big array. The real ones apparently on Card Sharks were bigger, but it's the full deck, all 52 cards, plus a no car in the car card from the bonus game, 3 jokers, and a multitude of prize cards. That's why I say it was the Rafferty version. A multitude of the prize cards that they had mixed into the decks for those shows or whatever. And it just sold on eBay within the last, I think, 24 hours.
For about $300. I have the image of it right now.
Oh yeah, there's the picture. Oh good, you were able to get the pictures up. I know we've been wondering if we could get some visual. Here, show that visual one more time.
Yeah, so this is pretty much the eBay auction right now. This is what everything was on. This is pretty much what the person had sold. They sold all 4 of the decks, all four suits of the cards, and of course during the Rafferty era, we were introduced to different bonuses and jokers available throughout the main game, and that's what all these cards are over here to the left.
Well, the jokers were still the bonus game. It was those green prize cards on the left that he did during the main game.
Right. And then, of course, you have the card and no card for the end game round after the money cards were dealt out, which I had questioned because I'm like, shouldn't there be at least 6 or 7 of these no cards? But this is the entire set of cards.
Yeah, isn't that just such an amazing collection?
Yep. And as you can see, this is the backing of them, the full Card Sharks logos right there. Then you have the entire set of cards right here, the 3 jokers, the various cards, the trip to Australia, the baby grand piano, the Victorian dolls, other various prizes which were described.
Yeah, this is just a small sample of what they of what they had and things like that. So, like, Scott, Marcus, what do you guys think of it?
Well, I mean, a while back when we were when we were discussing Gambit, me and Paul found an entire deck of cards from the show Gambit.
No, right? I remember you showing that to me. Correct.
Just with 2 cards missing, and thankfully the deck got back to Mr. Wink Martindale himself. So the person who bought it. Yeah, it got back to him. Yeah, they sent it back to him. Yeah.
Is this about the deck of cards that was sold on eBay?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because everything that we're mentioning here, was an eBay find and so on like that.
Yeah, $315 plus $46 for shipping.
Oh yeah, that's what this went for, the Card Sharks set.
Yep.
What? Quite impressive. Would you, if you had the money, Marcus, would you have jumped on this?
I will not lie. I'm upset. I didn't know that this was on eBay. If I had the scratch, I would have gotten it first shot.
Same here, and I would have us use it.
Oh, you're nuts.
Well, wouldn't it
You're
be?
nuts. I would not want this thing. I would not want that tarnished out and towed around on our shows.
Only for the money cards. That's it.
Yeah,
Only for the money cards.
Yeah, they didn't have a blue deck either.
Right.
Yeah, wait. Wait, this picture doesn't show the back. Was the
it was the red deck.
It was a red deck.
It was the red deck.
Okay. Yeah. I still like the idea that when we do our card sharks at conventions or whatever, we made a third deck for the money cards, because I hate that red always got doubled up. That's why we made a green deck. I was debating between green and purple years ago when I first got those made, but ultimately it was my grandmother that broke the tie on the vote that I asked around. She chose green, so.
Well, green makes more sense, money cards.
True. Well, like I said, yeah, I had an argument for either one. I saw both equally. So who's to say?
Well, we don't need purple. Remember, Barney, the dinosaur, is not running the money cards.
If he did, I would not watch that show.
Why do you got to put that image in your head, Marcus? Man, that was not what I was thinking at all.
It could have been worse. It could have been yellow.
Yeah.
Yellow wouldn't have been too bad, but I thought yellow was too bright because of the fact that you wouldn't then be able to see any of the design, the intricacy, especially in a live setting where, depending on what kind of room we're in, the lighting could hit it wrong, and I just didn't feel yellow was gonna work in that regard. That's why I debated between purple and green. So.
And besides, green fits the casino atmosphere.
True.
So who knows? So, but that's what's there. Hopefully, one day something like that will come across again. All right, use your money wisely, people. Okay, so that takes care of Smash or Trash for tonight. Okay, now we go into our main central discussion, and I'm going to queue up my list here. I'm just trying to look for something and make sure. Oh, I guess Andrew is coming home from across the street, because I hear Sally barking downstairs and going nuts. But that's to be expected. Anywho, okay. So here's what we did for tonight. As I said in the preview descriptions, I said in last week's Lightning Grounds and coming into tonight. This show, Game Show Talkin' Fun, which is, and again, I'm going to fully acknowledge this from the record. This is David Hammond's baby, all right, and I am just simply trying to do my best. I know he's not here tonight. I know he wants to be here tonight. I know that this is his baby, and I know that he started this back in 2007 with the intention of paying homage to the greatest and most classic game shows of all time. And believe me, as we go forward with this show, we will be doing the same. We'll have our nights where we're just gonna wax on our favorite moments of favorite classic shows and material, or whatever the case is. All right, but along the way, we cannot deny the fact that life goes on. And so do game shows. And since Game Show Talkin' Fun first left the air, or last left the air, in May of 2010, we have to ignore, or maybe slightly better, well, whatever it was. It was mid-2010. That's all I remember. Obviously, it's been 6 years. A lot of things have come, gone, and are still with us now that are brand new shows. The idea was that the idea behind the whole thing with this setup is that I took a look. I did some research. Oh, I see. We got a fifth one here. I'm sorry. I was between windows. I didn't see. Matthew Wojcik. Hello there. How are you doing?
Yeah, I was talking this whole time. Who did you think I was?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were Marcus. I'm sorry. I had another. No. I had another window open because I was searching at my spreadsheet. I was doing whatever the case was. I apologize. My bad. How you doing, Matt?
Well, just as long as you don't call me Chris, you're okay.
or Bill Davis.
Explain that to me later. I don't have time right now.
Anyway,
okay. So, all right, but here's the key though. So, what I did was earlier this week. What I did was, with the help of Wikipedia, I went through. I searched for just any game or reality show that has come along from 2010 until now that I legitimately recognize the name for, and I'm sure there's a ton of reality competition shows that that I missed and things like that. I ended up compiling a list of 69 different shows. Like I said, most are game shows in some fashion. Some are reality competitions, whatever it was. Okay, I'm sorry, that's what it counted to. Get your head out of the gutter. Anyway, so here's what I did. Okay. Obviously, like I said, we want to pay the tribute to the classic, but the thing is, we got to recognize that some shows have come along today that people honestly liked and potentially could down in the future join the annals of those classic game shows as modern greats, perhaps. So I went around to a lot of people, particularly over the last 36 hours. I went to a lot of people around who I know in the game show community and Facebook, and even a couple of additional friends just outside of the window that I've worked with or known in the past in game show fandom. And I gave them this list, and I asked them, tell me legitimately, what shows did you honestly watch and enjoy out of everything that was on this list? What did you hate? And whatever the case is, all right. I took a spreadsheet of everybody's responses in turn, and like I said, I got 16 different responses here, and I thank everybody that took part in the discussion there. I got back 16 responses, and what I've done is I've organized everything from year to year, and I'm gonna give who ultimately the winner was for each year. I'll give some honorable mentions along the way too. And what I'll ask each of you guys to do is, once I've given the list of who the big shots were for each year, pick one show and briefly smash it or trash it. Okay? Everybody's clear on that?
Question. When did Wipeout come out?
Oh no, Wipeout started before 2010, so no, that didn't qualify. This was anything that debuted starting in 2010 and onward. So that was the premise for this. Okay.
Ninja Warrior, I guess, is on there.
Okay, well, all right. Yeah, the one slight exception was American Ninja Warrior. It technically started in December of 2009, and that was still when it was more reality-based on G4 before it became the competition we know now. But I did include it as part of the 2010 list. So I'll start with 2010. All right, honorable mentions for 2010 include Family Game Night. And actually, is this true? Do we have a three-way tie for 2010? I might have one. Actually, here, Matt, can you do me a favor? Could you read off? I
have the list open in front of me.
No. But Matt, here, wait. I'm talking to Matthew specifically. Matt, I don't think I included your votes in there. I've got it in front of me, but just here, real quick, what do you have from 2010 that made the list?
Okay.
'Cause I want to make sure I tech it in properly.
Okay, 2010, I had Family Game Night.
Okay, I'll mark that down.
There's Late Night Liars.
Okay. Oh, you put a couple people put in Late Night Liars.
And that's about it.
Okay, those were the only two for there? Okay, so those got a couple minutes. To win it got a couple votes,
Well,
but I got a three-way tie here for number one for best new game of 2010.
Yes, Scott.
You didn't get my votes at all. I've just
No, wait. But wait. Matt, I had asked in advance and things like that. I left my votes out of it, your votes out of it, Paul votes out of it. I left all of ours out of it because I wanted us to see what the results were and give our personal comments to anyone on the list. So that's why I didn't include any of us.
I was about to say, I didn't even get a chance to vote, I think you had
No. That's okay. No. I did that on purpose because I wanted us to be openly surprised by the list. So anyway, in a three-way tie for best new game of 2010, we got American Ninja Warrior, 1 versus 100 on the Carrie Ann Inabas version on GSN, and the infamous $1 Million Money Drop. So I'll leave it up here. Scott, I'll start with you. Pick any one of the ones I mentioned for 2010. Okay, no, go ahead. And smash or trash it.
Well,
pick one and
he's ready to pounce. Go back.
I'm ready to pounce on the million.
Raise it, crush it, whatever. Pick one, whichever way you want to handle it.
I'm ready to pounce on the $1 Million Money Drop. It didn't stay true to its original British format, which is the £1 Million Drop, which was done live and everything. The contestants on the U.S. version were basically people you would get out of central casting. And then there was the infamous question that doomed the whole show.
I'm trying to remember that now. I can't think
it was which one was marketed first, and they put up two answers of the same product, and everybody was like, but that's not right. It was like Post-its and sticky notes and some other thing like that.
That one, yes.
Yeah,
that's okay.
and then the whole legal downfall of the show. No, I mean it didn't stay true to its original source material. So
Go ahead. I'll let you finish.
£1 Million Drop.
Yeah.
Everybody get their turn.
Yeah, as Woj just said, yeah, it was based on the British game show known as the £1 Million Drop. Mm-hmm. They had 1 million British pounds, same format, but they had 8 questions on the show. I think the U.S. had 7.
The U.S.
I thought we did 6, but...
No. U.S. did 7, and to counteract that, the U.S. kind of tends to do that so it's their own format. That's why Millionaire right now has 14 questions, while every other country still does 15, 16, and so forth, because that's the United States format of the game. That's kind of like how in basketball for a while, hey, we had this box called the key, and everybody else had the trapezoid. Like, everybody does things differently.
Yeah, well, I'm not worried about basketball. Basketball will always be basketball. But no, I mean, it didn't stay true to the actual source material of the original show. So because of that whole flub up with the question, it kind of doomed the whole show, and the contestants seemed like they were just picked out of central casting to come on the show.
Yeah, and had an extra large Red Bull Slurpee before the show.
Right.
Which tends to, let's be fair, that was a whole pilot episode. That whole entire thing was a pilot.
Yeah, the whole series was a pilot. It was doomed to fail.
It also doesn't help that it was on Fox, and you know I talked about Fox with its infamy of give away everything right at the start of the program because they don't think you'll watch otherwise. But that's another issue. Paul, you have anything more you want to praise or slam $1 Million Money Drop, or you want a smash or trash something else from 2010?
I'm going to trash it, but not for the reasons that Scott did. I'm just going to trash it because of the fact that they aired what's supposed to be the unaired pilot. The legal issues weren't really legal issues until several months afterwards, so that didn't really affect anything. American Ninja Warrior is nothing more than we're just going to uplift the Ninja Warrior, and then we're just going to give everybody a chance to run out the course. There's not much new about that. That's to me essentially American Ninja Warrior is the extension of Sasuke or Ninja Warrior. So what was the last choice?
And
One
well,
versus 100.
like I said, you could talk about any of the ones that we mentioned here for 2010.
Right. You
One
mentioned one
versus
more.
100 was the other winner in this one.
Out of default, I'll say Smash 100 the $1 million drop, because the 1 versus 100 on GSN wasn't all that cracked up as it was supposed to be.
Okay, so let's see there. Marcus, pick one that we've mentioned for 2010. What did you like or hate?
Me personally, I liked 1 versus 100. I like trivia shows like that. And I think we had this conversation before. $1 Million Money Drop. I didn't know it came from a British show because I wasn't paying attention. I didn't know about the backstory of it all from like British shows or whatever. But like I said, it seemed fine on paper, and then in practice, it just failed miserably over here. And I'm certain it worked fine over there, but over here nope.
And I think it still goes. I think they still do it, but I think it's.
I haven't heard about it in a long time.
It stopped.
Yeah, because I actually. Funny thing is, when I do my eBay searching, I actually have the home game from the British version. I actually have the actual tabletop home game of the £1 million drop.
All right. Okay. Matt, real quick before we go on to 2011, any other show that we've mentioned here for 2010 you want to praise or bust?
Well,
Smash or trash?
$1 Million Money Drop was trash from the start.
Here you are with your signs again. Glad you brought them.
Yeah. The 1 versus 100 revival, despite its lackluster host, was still worthy of a ding.
Okay.
American Ninja Warrior was American Ninja Warrior, and Late Night Liars, as I mentioned, for me personally, is a guilty pleasure.
I love the Weasel.
That's like me watching the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'll admit that. That's my guilty pleasure.
And Family Game Night was the show that finally got Todd Newton his well-deserved Emmy win. And
Yes, and I will back Family Game Night. Hey, I've got the Wii game downstairs. We bought that too and stuff like that, the game show version or whatever. No, we loved Family Game Night in here. We loved it to death. And if Brianna was asking for a while it was on, if she was old enough, could we go on the show or whatever? So I mean, come on, it always was a big fan. I'm a huge Todd Newton fan too. So I was glad that he got it.
Ryan. Right. Maybe we could do something with that on.
No. Yes. Get that thought out of your mind.
Yeah, but I'm ready to take Family Game Night.
On to 2011. We got to move on, guys. Here we go. Because we're gonna fall short of time before we get through all these. Okay, 2011. Very dispersed in its votes. I'll mention real quick the ones from 2011 that got multiple votes. There were only a couple. Honorable mentions go to Cash Cab Chicago. Fear Factor briefly came back. Let's see. A few votes for another Discovery Family then Hub Network show, Scrabble Showdown, another one of mine I enjoyed. But the winner for 2011, one that a lot of people think ABC should have given much more faith to. I'm talking about the $1 Million Minds game.
I will smash that show. I mean, it came from the original show came from Russia. The idea from it
was Russian birth. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it came from Russia, right? The host even said it in the very first episode.
Oh, Vernon Kay said that in the first one?
Yeah. It's actually based on Russia's longest-running game show. It's been running for over 40 years now.
Well, not as long as Countdown. Countdown is in the Guinness Book of World Records.
I said Russia's longest.
No, he's saying Russia's longest game show.
Right. But no, I actually liked the idea of it. You got a bunch of these smart people trying to figure out and solve problems to win $1 million. It's like those. It was an interesting concept. I like that. You had to work as a team to get to the solution of it. It was an interesting idea, and I think it was either the time slot that ABC put it in, which would killed it, but I think it would.
If I remember,
here's the problem. ABC they recorded the shows in the summer of 2011, and just for whatever reason they looked at when it was done and they just I don't know. They just lost faith in its entirely in its ability to whatever. So they just cast it off on Sunday afternoons during football.
Yeah, I think it had to do with the fact that it tested negatively with focus groups, if I remember reading Buzzer Blog correctly.
I find that hard to believe. I don't know what it was so wrong with it.
I like the idea of it. It was a great. To me, it got you thinking, and it had the Goodson factor to it. You could actually try to play along with it at home and try to see how well you would do. So it had
that was for sure.
Yeah.
Paul, what about you? Paul, what about here? I apologize for cutting you off, Scott, but I got to just make sure we move this on. Here, Paul, what about what about you between the shows that we mentioned? $1 Million Mind Game, Scrabble Showdown, Cash Cab Chicago. Any one you want to?
Probably the $1 Million Mind Game, because again, I didn't even realize. The only reason why I caught on to that was because I tuned into ABC on a random Saturday afternoon. I was like, this is an interesting show, and then just to find out it got canceled off later, a couple of weeks later, excuse me.
Yeah, it was only 6 weeks.
Right.
And I know in our talking, Paul, we've brought it up in conversation a couple times too.
Right.
The mind game.
It is pretty intense there. Marcus, how about you? What do you like from 2011?
I'm going to be the complete noob on this. I never saw $1 Million Mind Game. I feel bad for that now because I bet it was an amazing show. Cash Cab Chicago, like I said before, I love trivia games. I enjoyed it. It's something to play along with. Something out of the list that y'all didn't bring up that I like, well, not this version of it. Lingo, because I love word games as well.
It is on the list.
Really?
It is on the list here, Bill Engvall's version, and counting you. Okay, no, that's true. Counting you, it did get 2 votes among the 16 of you that helped me out and jumped in on this. So no, that's a point made there as well.
See, once Chuck left Lingo, they should have just left it. They should have not brought it back. Once Chuck Woolery left Lingo, that's it. They should have not brought it back.
Was that a version of Lingo after Chuck?
Yeah, Bill Engvall hosted it, and I just thought it was
bad. No, oh God, I remember that one. No.
Yeah. You know how I feel now. That's exactly how I felt.
Oh
yeah,
no.
And they put they attached clues to the words as well.
Right.
They tried to go Scrabble with it. They tried to go 84 Scrabble with it.
We'll save that discussion for another day, but I'm not placing anything out of Big Engvall. It's just, dear Lord, you didn't have to fix what wasn't broken.
They were trying to reinvent the wheel.
They were trying to keep up with Steve Harvey.
Yes.
Well, that's true. Yeah, he had just barely started at the time and things like that. It may have also been an extension of Jeff Foxworthy's success with Fifth Grader. Well, who knows? We'll see there. But let me see. That's right. We got you, Matt. Real quick? Any others from 2011 that we mentioned there?
Well, I promise not to take more than 60 seconds. Okay, Beth Malusky. All right, Cash Cab Chicago with Beth Malusky. I mean, I liked Beth, though at the end she could have had more time to develop her craft. Scrabble Showdown, I felt, was a competent new adaptation of the classic Scrabble word game, although it's not quite the way we played it. And $1 Million Mind Game, I think was never really going to exceed on any of the mainstream of the big 3 networks. I think if it had gone to cable, it would probably have had a longer run, but what can you do? Again, we're not quite a quiz country. They skew older, but for what it was still the best show of 2011.
What show was this?
There we go, yeah. And like I said, I'll put an extra nod. Yeah, no, I agree with $1 Million Mind Game, but I'll put an extra nod for Scrabble Showdown because that was even another one that I wanted to personally do and things like that. My one niece, Sydney, even wanted to do it, but I don't know if she was either too old or too young at the time or whatever. I know she was out of the age bracket, but she actually wanted to do it too. She liked it a lot. Oh, and did you know that John Ricci was part of that production crew?
So would that negate her from going on the show? No, that would negate
me. I hope not. Like I said,
that would negate you from being on the show. You know him.
Well, I mean, I know of him. It's not like we're personal. See, I don't know.
Well, people
Moving
use
on,
the word
moving on.
trend
just
very
saying,
loosely
I'm
nowadays.
just sure saying this. I'm sure is putting some of us, especially me, in a gray line or whatever. But all right, but I'll figure that out in one way or another.
Yeah. Moving on.
If our silent producer is listening, talk to me later and we'll sort that matter out. Okay, 2012. Let's go on. Okay, 2012. I didn't find many things for or whatever, but really only 3 shows were getting any kind of mention whatsoever. The revival of Figure It Out on Nickelodeon, the American Bible Challenge, which got a few votes, but far and away the game of 2012, and one that I will get to after you guys have your turn, GSN's revival of The Pyramid.
I will start off with, Figure It Out. Great concept, taking both I've got a secret and what's my line, and putting and fusing it together. Great concept for a show. I mean, even on the wiki page they say it pays tribute to secret and line. But
You just said that.
yeah. But they could have probably done better with the host. They could have got Summer Sanders to come back and host it.
Well, the guy that was doing it, remember, he was just fresh off of doing Brain Surge, which was a success for them for a few years, and it started just before this list.
Or maybe get veteran game show host Mark Summers to host it.
But again, and we had our conversation about this. We know he was a major
it's just my
That's not his kind of show anyway. I don't think.
Yeah.
But
I think he would have done good as host it. I think maybe either Phil Moore would have been good for it, or
Scott,
Michael
you need to get out of Munchkin Land now.
yeah. All right. One thing at a time here. Paul, which one do you want to call attention to out of those 3?
So I'm trying to figure out what you guys mean by Pyramid 2012. Do we mean the one that was aired on GSN, or do we mean the one that was aired on
right. GSN revived it in the fall of 2012, just after the passing of Dick Clark. Mike Richards, who's the producer of
Price is Right,
the current director on Price is Right and Let's Make a Deal, he hosted it. It only went for the 140 episode season, and it was gone.
I think that they could have kept that one going, and the current 2016 version with Strahan probably would have never existed. That one definitely, because if you think about it, if the GSN version was still be in generation right now, that means ABC would never be able to get the rights to Pyramid from Sony right now. So that's one way to think about it. But overall, I'll probably have to say 2012's Pyramid was pretty damn good for that time frame.
Okay. Marcus, what about it?
I'll agree. 2012's Pyramid was fine. Me personally, I hate saying that a lot.
That's why you're talking.
This Pyramid that we have now with Strahan, I think is better than the one in 2012. Don't get me wrong. I love the one in 2012. I just like this one better.
Right.
Because it feels like
classic
the old version with Dick Clark.
Right. And Marcus and me and Paul went to go see a taping of the show too.
Yeah, they did go to see a Strahan version. Yeah.
I'm slightly upset at both of you.
And we actually got to talk to Strahan a little bit while they were in between shows and everything.
Yeah, I'm actually still trying to see when they're going to open up for the next season. But my bet is that the game shows are going to come back on a season by season basis, kind of like how Celebrity Family Feud came back. Started last year in the summer. Pyramid, Match Game will all probably come back in. I think it's summer, spring, because you skip a season. So it's not going to come back in the fall, but it's definitely
mid-season. Mid-season. Mid-season.
Probably, we'll see.
So honestly, I wouldn't.
No,
honestly, I wouldn't mind if they made it like a summer thing, because you notice there's a butt ton of reruns everywhere, and they're not going to have it where like it used to be back in the day on a daily basis. They're not going to kick out that much money nowadays. Ever. No.
Probably the only shows they're going to kick that out for is I was about to say Scrabble. No, there's probably Jeopardy, Wheel, Price, and LMAD. Those are the only four that.
All those are owned by Sony or Fremantle.
Don't forget about Feud, Millionaire, and Celebrity Name Game.
All right,
Millionaires.
we're getting there. We haven't gotten the celebrity name game yet.
Right.
We're getting there. All right, Matt, real quick, how about you of the ones we mentioned for 2012?
Well, first of all, I have two here that didn't even make your list, which are
Like I said, I know I didn't get everything, but I was trying as best I could to compile as extensive a list as possible.
Well,
What did I miss?
Well, the other two I mentioned were Let's Ask America and the Exit List.
Okay, well, like I said, I was staying in the American category when I put the list together, but no, you're right about Let's Ask America. That was tough because so little of the country got to see it at the time it was on. I didn't even get to see it at all until GSN briefly had the rerun package.
Yeah, considering
so that was also a little. But you're right that I'll be honest that I missed putting it on this list. But even if I hadn't, it was a little tough to put on this list because it was unfair given the market clearance. It would have been unfair to ask.
And given to the other one that Woj mentioned, Exit List only lasted about 6 episodes in England.
Budget reasons.
Yeah. So, but of the ones that we said here, Matt, real quick, any thoughts?
Of the ones that you mentioned, I would go with the GSN Pyramid as the best one.
So, same here. Well, overall.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say one thing about the GSM Pyramid, and I'm just gonna let this pass because there's one thing that I heard somebody say about the current Strahan Pyramid that got me a bit upset in relation to GSM Pyramid. They said somebody I read on Facebook said they were watching Strahan's Pyramid. They said they were more excited about seeing the lower like it's 18 to 17 or 17 to 16 sometimes. They said they're getting more drama and excitement about watching games like those versus when you had the 21-21 ties that were and the super high scoring games that Clark had when 25 was really rolling in its heyday. And I took exception to that, and for this very quick reason, because on GSN's Pyramid, the same thing was happening. They were getting scores like 18-17, 20-19, different things like that. But a bunch of people that I know just for some reason think that the GSM Pyramid was junk and that the gameplay was poor, only for the reason that they only remember the 1 week of shows where Nick and Ada Turturro were on the show and they stunk up the whole place. Everybody remembers that one bad week. Oh, and by the way, Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg on the current series, yeah, they played just as bad. I'm sorry. It's true. So did Anthony Anderson. I'm sorry. There are some celebrities now that played just as bad. Okay? It needs to be said. But don't judge the GSM Pyramid on that 1 week alone. There were plenty of good players that could hang with the people that are on Strahan's now and actually pretty much whoop them. Okay? I'm sorry.
I will name 2, Betty White and Billy Crystal.
No, they did not do GSN's Pyramid.
No.
Okay? But is that Nicole Brown, Chandra Wilson? They were top 2 on GSN's Pyramid.
No, I'm talking about.
They could crush it again now.
I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So Scott, zip it.
Yeah. Okay.
I can even give you a bigger example of failures. The entire Match Game 2016.
Okay, look. We did that before. We'll get to that. Okay, 2013 now. Okay, 2013. Oh, a couple of big standouts here, however. Honorable mentions go to Trust Me, I'm a Game Show Host. Who Done It? Some people watched that ABC mystery type of series. I wanted to. I missed it. Minute to Win It Again. Actually, no, scratch that. I read the wrong line. Hollywood Game Night got a lot of votes. Woo! The infamous million-second quiz still had some likes. We'll get to that. And the winner, of course, 2013. You knew the Chase was going to win 2013. Does that surprise anybody?
No. I actually have 2 off of this list. A, Exit, because it's actually based off of a Japanese game show by the same title. And we know how the Japanese are with their game shows.
I had it on this list, and
it's Exit. exit.
Okay, yeah. Nobody I surveyed voted for exit.
But no, just because it's based off of the Japanese game.
I understand.
And I've actually took a look at the U.S. version, and it's unique. I'll give it that. It follows its source material from the Japanese version. I will give it that. So,
all right, but focusing though here, Scott, on the ones that I mentioned. Okay, the ones that did get votes and got honorable mention. Well, I know you could personally carry a story about Million Second Quiz because you were on it. You didn't make it on air, but you did make the show.
Right, and I made that.
Hey Charles, we'll get to you in a second. Hold on, Scott. Hold on.
Yeah, muzzle the dogs.
Okay. Charles, mute yourself for a moment. Charles Bowman, by the way, joining in the conversation or trying to. Charles, mute your mic.
Or go to the bathroom.
Okay, thank you.
I will say the chase. I've enjoyed the British version of it, and they stayed somewhat true to the source material of the show by having the Beast on. So I'm going to say, the chase they can bring it back. GSN, if GSN wants to, they could bring it back. But I mean, Brooke, she was all right as a host, but she wasn't up there on par with Bradley Walsh, who
I don't think that's fair to go ahead and compare. I mean, yeah, I know the history that we could have had Bradley here in the States, but I don't think it's fair to go ahead and say, let's throw her underneath the bus.
No, Paul.
Let me explain.
I'm not throwing.
Let him speak, because we got to move this along. Go ahead.
Yeah, Go ahead, Scott.
I'm not throwing her under the bus. I mean, I think she just freshly came off of doing Dog Eat Dog.
No, Dog Eat Dog was beginning
several years before.
That was 10, 12 years earlier.
But still, I mean, I don't think she had the right tempo of reading questions on under a clock. That's the only thing. That was my downfall of having her as a host.
Wasn't there questions of Dog Eat Dog that were played on the clock too?
No.
No.
Well, I mean, she was a low question reader.
No, there were no questions.
Anyway, okay, so Paul, what about you?
I'd say Chase as well, but I'm not going to say for the reasons like I'm not the kind of guy who expects an import to become exactly like the source. If you want to Americanize it, dumb it down so everybody can see it. Sure.
Well, it definitely didn't dumb it down. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's the main key thing. But no, Chase was definitely, I would say, the start of bringing back these game shows that we currently see now. Particularly, Pyramid coming back, Match Game coming back, and so forth and so forth and so on.
Gotcha, Marcus. What did you like?
No, Chase, by far and away, was like the best of that year. I mean, I'm not even going to say the whole thing with trivia shows again. Having this one dude that keeps talking smack about I'm smarter than everybody, what? And just having these teams of people try to come in and just run him out. And also getting to play along is a beautiful thing. Now, the whole thing with Brooke, I have no problem with her as a host. I mean, yeah, she wasn't used to, like, asking questions on a clock. Could you do that? Like, here's 90 seconds. How many questions can you pop out in 90 seconds?
Takes a lot of practice.
Takes a lot. Yeah.
So with her doing that, I have no problem with that. She did fine for what she did.
Yeah. Okay. Matt, you agree?
Well, okay. First of all, just so we can get to the other years, from now on, everybody has 60 seconds to plead their case.
Let's keep this moving because we're running out of time here, guys.
Okay, here we go.
You especially.
Okay, here we go. Shut up. Trust me, I'm a game show host I've never seen. Million Second Quiz was a disaster from second number one. Hollywood Game Night brought back traditional game shows to primetime and celebrities as well. Whodunit was some say the second coming of the mole, but it had a good twist on it while the killer's identity not being too relevant. But the best show of that year and the best show of the past 6 years, The Chase.
Gotcha. All right. And for me, yes, I'll explain. Now, reminds me, because we don't have time to do it right now, but on another night, have a chance to, maybe perhaps when we later in the year when we always like to do a either Raise the Dead or Turkeys night, acknowledging like the worst in game shows and stuff like that. There's one of somebody else that me, Scott, and Paul know that was in on this voting. His name is Elliot Schiff. He had an interesting story from when his brother was on the million-second quiz, and some interesting things about how he actually got the producers to change a rule on the fly that he exploited as being exploitative. But it's just, there was a lot of train wreck we know that took place involved in that. So we'll see. But like I said, we'll talk about that another night. But needless to say, yeah, the chase, we all wanted to be part of it so bad that what else can you say? Okay, let's get to 2014, guys. Everybody's still here, right? Okay, I just want to make sure. Okay, good.
Charles is gone.
No, wait. No, I'll explain what happened to Charles later. Wait, there was there's something technical difficulty it's working on his end. Okay, I don't mean for that to be the case. But we'll get there. Okay, really, 2 spots in 2014. Okay, surprisingly, though, I had 2 people vote for that one-time special on GSN The Line. I don't know why, but a couple people did. Anyway, though, but the 2 major standouts, both of which are still on the air today, Celebrity Name Game, and the winner for 2014, Idiot Test. Which, by the way, Andrea, my wife, hates Idiot Test. She thinks it's a good show, but she can't stand it because she can't solve most of those puzzles. It drives her bonkers. Scott, go, quick.
I'm going to say Win, Lose, or Draw. It's pick.
Well, that's true. Disney's Win, Lose. Well, yeah, Disney's Win. I didn't get a single vote for Win, Lose, or Draw.
And because it was created by Burt Convey and Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, but this Win, Lose, or Draw Disney did in 2014 was a far cry.
No. I mean, in general, the show was created by.
I know. We know that. We know.
30 seconds, Scott.
No. Let's play knowledge. You're right.
27, 26.
So that and my honorable mention, Celebrity Name Game. That's it.
Now, you were telling me, real quick, earlier today before we went on the air, because I know a lot of people have likened Celebrity Name Game to a variation on Pyramid. You were initially describing it more as Taboo.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we ultimately said that all of those and Password are all in that same kind of
they're all in the
fluid association sort of family.
I'll put them all in the Password family. How's that?
Yeah, whatever the case is. But and hey, we know those other ones are classics. So hey, folks out there, if you like Celebrity, if you're watching Celebrity Name Game now and you like it, watch The Pyramid. Go back and watch old things of Password. Check out You Don't Say even and things like that. Go back and appreciate those shows of the past too. Okay, don't watch the game show version of Taboo though. That was horrible. Okay,
I agree.
That's just there. Okay, Paul. What about it? Idiot Test, Celebrity Name Game. What do you like?
Probably Celebrity Name Game, just because of the fact that it's really, really, really simple. That's it. Like, it's none overly complicated, none hard to explain. Just describe words, move on. That's it.
Or describe names. Yeah,
describe names,
the names could be things, but they're mostly people.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and we always have to be aware of the potential out there clue, like the one I saw a few months ago about Deep Throat. Did anybody see that clip?
No, but there's a joke in there somewhere. And
No. It was I forget what the category was, but it was like the guy had 3 seconds left to do it or whatever, and no, he seriously did. His partner had no clue, and everybody, including, of course, Craig Ferguson, was in dead shock. And that's where I'm leaving it.
That's
Marcus,
the clue of the year right there.
Yeah, Marcus, your turn.
Idiot. I like Idiot Test because I like brain teasers. I'm sorry for those that can't solve them. My bad. Celebrity Name Game.
My wife will forgive you. Don't worry.
I forgive you too.
Anyway, Celebrity Name Game. Yeah. It's basically another version of Pyramid, which I like. I have no problems with it whatsoever. other than everything else that was in, what was it, 14? I really didn't care for anything else in there.
Yeah, 14 was a tough year.
It really was. There was nothing on in there at all.
Yeah. So, and Matt, what do you think? Same diff?
Well, first of all, I haven't had GSN in 5 years since Cablevision yanked it 5 years ago.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, it's true. That's also happened within our within that time frame. So,
yeah.
Be glad, because it just became the Family Feud network.
Yep. Family Feud all day, every day. Like, no, Cablevision pretty much made it a premium channel.
And now the sad but also factual thing is, that's actually responsible for them being ratings relevant and actually climbing up the ladder in the cable ratings charts from week to week. It's sad, yes, that they've got to put so much Family Feud on it, in order to do that. But if anything, that's also a testimony to Steve Harvey's popularity, which he came along in the fall of 2010, again just after the original Game Show Talking Fun radio show folded or whatever. So pretty much the entire time we've been gone, Steve Harvey has been ruling the game show roost.
Yeah, Celebrity Name Game. Celebrity Name Game is fun. It's great for people who love pop culture. Craig Ferguson is witty. It's just an all-around fun party game, and really the only other show from 2014 that I think was worthy of praise was Sports Jeopardy.
Agreed.
Oh, did that start in 2014?
Yes.
Okay, and all right, I know I didn't put that on the list. I didn't put Sports Jeopardy on there, because all right, and I know, yes, it was on Crackle. I guess probably I neglected about that because of the fact that it was an internet thing only and not on actual TV and stuff like that.
Funny you mentioned that, because the third season's actually going to be on NBC Sports.
Oh, it is.
Wow.
Oh, cool. We'll have to check that out. Hey, you heard it here first, folks. Or at least, well, whatever. But okay.
All three of you.
Remind me when that starts, though. I'll have to check that out.
It looks like they acquired it, the 30-minute segment. It's in the fall of 2016, so I'll say September, October.
Okay, we'll be on the lookout for it, and you folks out there, be on the lookout for it too. And
I guess we could say
I like Idiot Tests a lot. I watch Celebrity Name Game when I can. It's a little tough for me to watch Celebrity Game Name now, because now here in the New York area, now it's on at 9 in the morning, so I miss it most of the time, wherever the case is. But no, I do enjoy it once in a while when I get a chance to, though. I will, even though it got no votes, I'm just going to make just one passing acknowledgement, though, of one other thing. I don't watch it. Okay, I do not watch GSN's current reality series and what is now, since the chase was axed for skewing too old. Shame on you, GSN. What is now their #1 rated show, the reality show Skin Wars. Like I said, it didn't get any votes, and I don't personally watch it. But I do still have to give everybody that competes on that show credit, because every time I see those commercials when I'm watching other stuff on GSN, I have to say, seeing the magnificent job that they do with that body painting and the designs that they make, I gotta just admit, I'm personally wowed by it. And like I said, even though I'll never watch an actual episode of it, just seeing those, I gotta give compliments to the artists.
There's a few people I'd like to see on that show, not mentioning any names.
Tell me later. We got to finish this. Okay, and finally we get to 2015. Let's see what we had from there. Okay, a couple of honorable mentions for BattleBots, which is currently on now. Boom, which I know that David Hammond's liked, because we used to get together on the phone and talk while the episode was on and play along with it together. By the way, $1 Million Money Drop, the late Alan Mitsugi and I, we called on the phone and did that as well back in the day. God rest your soul, Alan. Okay, GSN's brief second attempt at Chain Reaction got a few nods. #2, Monopoly Millionaires Club, and #1, the probably extremely mistitled 500 Questions gets the nod for 2015. Scott, pick attack.
I'll pick my poison later on that one, but I have two. First honorable mention, Monopoly. We haven't seen it on TV since the 90s when ABC did their thing with it. But
Brianna's favorite game when Monopoly Millionaires Club was on, she loved playing the Electric Company. Go on. I'm sorry.
No, I agree. That was a fun game. I will have to say my nod is between two right here. 500 questions. Great concept for a show. And Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
Which came and went very quickly.
But it was hosted by Jeff Foxworthy, and I give Jeff Foxworthy credit to actually hosting that game show. And I thought it was interesting to see how many people will people like us that are older now and not in school, to see how much we actually remember from when we were in school. And everything. So I think of it more as a remembrance test and everything.
I got you. Okay, here real quick. All right, let's get everybody else real quick.
That's,
Paul, all right, here, Scott, we got to cut this.
No.
We're running too short. Scott, Paul, go ahead.
So looking at the list, because I now actually have it in front of me, Monopoly Millionaires Club probably gets my vote. 500 questions did all right for itself, mostly because it was different. The only problem I had with 500 questions at the time was for the fact that it was kind of boring. The rules weren't that bad, but it was kind of lengthy, and the ending of the first season was also something I didn't like. I'm just pleased that Boom didn't get a second season though. I was kind of upset that it didn't get a second season after the only 6 episodes that I got here in the States. But yeah, those are pretty much my.
I think we got 10 of Boom. We got 10.
Yeah, you're right. We got 10 of Boom, and then that was it.
Yeah. Again, mistake being on Fox, who spoils everything at the beginning.
Right.
But that's another thing. Marcus, what about it?
I haven't seen Boom. I apologize. I will probably look up a couple episodes once this is over. Yeah, I'm horrible.
No.
500 questions. 500 questions. I didn't mind. Again, I love trivia games. It did drag on for a while. That's when I started changing the channel, and then I found Doctor Who. Hey, and my other nod. hey, don't start. And my other nod goes to BattleBots because it just. Back when it was on Comedy Central, I was enthralled with it. Like, these people built these things to destroy each other, and then they brought it back for ABC. Like, yes, thank you.
Yeah, no, I was shocked myself. And Brianna loves it.
Well, also remember BattleBots was also started in the UK as well, too.
We got it. Okay. All right, Matt, real quick, let's get you in real quick, and then I'll get my clothes, and we'll get out of here.
Who the hell voted for 500 questions as number 1?
Enough to make it the top vote getter for 2015.
Yeah.
I mean, they just put the title in quotation marks.
I can sense the salt from you right now.
Right. It will probably help if that number was greatly reduced, because in neither season have they ever physically asked 500 questions yet to all the players. If it was maybe 100 questions or 200 questions, sure, but they're presenting an unattainable goal.
I mean,
or maybe they just make it, how many questions can you answer in an episode?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically now Memorial Day weekend filler.
Yeah.
But for the best show, it's Monopoly Millionaires Club.
Yeah, and if only they could have settled the lottery clearances with more states and gotten that straight. Who knows? It'll probably still be there now. We'll see. And like I said, no, I gave my thought on 500 questions. Like I said, I like that. I like Millionaires Club, whatever. Like I said, happy that Waycott came back or whatever. And that's pretty much it. That takes us to this year. What will we consider the best game of 2016, the best new game and things like that? Well, we got to wait and see. We still got several more months to go. We still have a fall season and other things coming out. So the jury is out on this year. We will find out. So hold your bets. Hold all predictions, all right? All right, so guys, I thank you very much for folks, those of you listening out there, let us know what you think. Leave comments below and let us know what you think from the last several years. What modern shows can become can be considered future classics. Let us know what you think, and we'll keep it in mind. Maybe even later on down the road, we'll do a whole show devoted to to one of those things if enough of you want it. So we'll see what happens. In the meantime, also, let me just get our usual plugs out of the way like we do in our lightning rounds and abridged videos. If you guys out there enjoyed the show, if you liked what you see, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Hit those buttons down below this window to subscribe and keep up with everything that we're doing. In addition, join us on Facebook, facebook.com/LostSilverProductions. Please, we're looking for our first Patreon subscribers. Patreon.com/LostSilver. Help us with our anime game show convention pursuits, and we promise we do have some swag for you. You could choose our next whammy for Press Your Luck. You could have some miniature reproductions of our Card Sharks cards, which I don't have with me in the room here at the moment. So, but we'll make the card of your your favorite card out of all the ones that we have here. So please help us out and get bigger prizes for you. But anyway, guys, Marcus, Matt, thanks for jumping in. Hope to do this again with you sometime.
Hey, no problem, man. Just let me know when. I'll be right there.
Sure, yeah. Our next show's in 4 weeks. We're gonna figure out our topic over the next couple weeks, and as soon as we have one, we'll announce it during the lightning round videos on a future Friday. So we'll get that in there.
All right, sounds good.
That works there. Okay, and Matt, same thing. Glad you could join us too.
Yeah, see you at the end of the summer.
you got it. And real quick, last things that we gotta get out of here. Paul Scott, I know you're gonna be at Otakon in a couple of weeks. However, Paul, you're going to Pittsburgh next weekend, right?
No, I'm going to Gen Con next weekend.
Isn't that in Pittsburgh?
No, that's Indianapolis.
Oh, it's Indianapolis. Oh, okay, it's Indianapolis. Do me a favor. Bring some Card Shark surveys with you. I'll send them to you. I'll send them to you soon. Okay.
Alrighty.
All right, and friends, to all of you out there, thank you for joining us once again for Game Show Talk and Fun. We'll see you in 4 weeks on Friday night, August 26th. Topic to be determined. Until then, Brian Spinski for all of the gang here. We will see you soon. Take care, everybody.
Sayonara.